Hello and welcome to this segment of ASH News TV. I'm Surbhi Sidana, Chair of the ASH Committee on Communications, and I'm joined by Dr. Jennifer Brown, ASH Secretary. Today is the last day of this fantastic ASH meeting that we've seen groundbreaking science. And we want to talk to you about the upcoming session of the late-breaking abstracts, which is always the most anticipated session on the last day of the meeting. So Dr. Brown, it's a mystery to many people how an abstract becomes late-breaking. So the usual abstract deadline is in August of each year, and almost 2 or 3 months later is the late-breaking deadline. So what makes something late-breaking? Is it just people who've not submitted their work in August, or what are some recommendations for late-breaking submissions? Can you please walk us through that?
Sure. Most of the late breakers often tend to be really hot off the presses new clinical data. There are a lot of randomized controlled trials that are registrational that get submitted, and the data literally have only become available shortly before the late breaking deadline. But we're also very interested in scientific abstracts, but they would normally need to be something truly impactful that you'd expect to publish in a very high impact journal to be considered as a scientific abstract. But definitely not your routine abstract that you forgot to submit in August.
So on a typical year, how many submissions does ASH get for late breaking, and how many do we select?
On the order of 80 to 100, and we select 6. And if you're not selected for that 6, then that abstract's not published.
And can you talk to us, like this year we have like 6 abstracts that are a variety of topics in classical and malignant hematology. Are there some themes for this year?
Well, we do have several of those randomized trials. A novel antibody being studied in ITP, a first frontline randomized trial with a non-covalent BTK inhibitor in CLL, and teclistamab daratumumab in a randomized trial in relapsed myeloma. So those data are very impactful. We also have an interesting study using whole genome sequencing to diagnose bone marrow disorders. And there's a very interesting in vivo CAR, which everyone's very excited about, the potential for in vivo CAR generation, with several patients who achieved MRD undetectable responses in myeloma.
As a myeloma doctor myself, I'm very excited that the session is starting with a myeloma abstract and ending with a myeloma abstract, right from the first report to a registration trial. So that will be very exciting for myeloma docs. Anything that is, do you have a favorite abstract out there, or is it difficult to choose from all of the good stuff?
Well, I always like CLL. Although the trial in question uses a chemoimmunotherapy control arm, which is less and less used, of course, at this point, but the data still look good with pirtobrutinib. There's a trial of tranexamic acid to try to prevent bleeding and need for transfusion that was done in Canada, and that trial is interesting because Canadian hospitals got together to do this and showed a significant improvement, a reduction in transfusion need as well as equivalent safety to the patients who didn't receive it. So I found that very intriguing as something that could potentially be implemented readily if it's felt appropriate.
Yeah, very practical, can be done immediately. So thank you so much for giving our audience a preview into the late breakers. We hope you can make it to this session, which is promising to be a very exciting session of diverse abstracts from clinical, classical hematology to malignant hematology. And with that, at this year's meeting, we'll come to a close today, and we hope to see you in New Orleans next year for some very exciting science.